Back at it
Yeah,
again.
back with another one, baby. It's your
On
favorite podcasters.
Spotify,
Yeah,
on YouTube, coming soon on Twitch and Snapchat.
we coming, baby. We coming for it all. I like it. I like it. So what we gonna hit on today, CJ?
We're going to hit on commitment is the main title of the podcast. We hitting
I
on commitment.
like that. Like that. Hitting on commitment today. So everybody, like, comment, share, hit the notification button. So that way, as soon as when we hit the other platforms, when we start going live, y'all get the notification. You can tune in. Maybe throw questions in the comments while we're doing it. Well, let's get on it, everybody. Share it, like it, comment on it. Let us know what you think and what you want to hear. Talk to us. Let us engage with you. That's enough of me talking. Commitment. Let's go, CJ.
Let's go. Let's go. Commitment. Well, commitment all the way around. I feel is good to yourself. As you as a family man, commitment to yourself also includes commitment to your family, commitment to your children, commitment to bettering not just you but yourself and
Mm-hmm.
your household, which I can only understand is a great amount of stress. You know, what I mean, like 90% of my buddies, all married with kids. So with none of them, and I'm just the uncle at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot, man. I mean, being committed to something, everybody knows how hard at it. I mean, trying to stay committed to a diet is hard enough, and then you got all these other things in life that you got to stay committed to. Like with coaching Gavin in baseball, man, I'm up in the gym, going to work, trying to get home to coach baseball games, then concession stand running. Like it's a lot of stuff, but it's just one of them things. It's like, I made the commitment to that, to Gavin, to the team, coaching those boys, teaching them, things about baseball, things about life, getting them ready for the next stages of, the level of the game. And hopefully maybe, just tipping off a little bit of that blueprint of what a man should be. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Commitment it's just about everything. I mean, your relationships, things you do, your job, your fitness, your finances. Commitment
Well,
is rough,
commitment,
man.
certain thing depends on your self discipline. I mean,
Yeah.
at this point, since we're talking about all these things and commitment, you know what I mean? You can be committed in one thing and not another, and that could be all in
Oh yeah.
self discipline. You could be real committed to being going Dunkin' Donuts every day, but not committed to going to the gym. You be committed to drinking that, highly sugarative cappuccino, frappuccino, but you ain't willing to
Yeah.
walk 3 miles a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, your self discipline and mindset's gonna play a role in it, man. Like if you gonna get into fitness, you got to stay committed to it. You're not gonna see results within the first 2 days or the first 48 hours. It takes time. You got to stay committed to it. You got to stay committed to the diet, to the routine, to the lifestyle. Everything goes hand in hand, man. A lot of people think, oh, I'm in the gym Monday through Friday for 45 minutes to an hour, so I can eat Dunkin' Donuts. I can eat that Big Mac from McDonald's. And it's like, no, it goes hand in hand, bro. Lifting, eating, rest, it all like clockwork. And, the big question is, can you stay committed to it?
Right. We could talk about, the backtrack a little bit and talk about commitment to a diet, especially in the older years. I know you were talking about trying to try a diet coming up, and I've been doing the like farm diet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, farm fed, grass fed, baby.
I eat anything off a farm, anything that's homegrown. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? And then I make sure I do hard work throughout as a man. As a male, with the testosterone flowing through my body, trying to keep myself fit on the day that I'm on rest. I'm still trying to make my body sweat. You know what I mean? Try to
Understand
make
that.
make sure I'm getting something out of the day. If it's 100 push-ups, times 3, times
Yeah.
4, times 1, whatever you can do. I knocked out 50 earlier just to try to,
Yeah.
you
Try to
know,
get the pump, baby. Get the pump. It's all about the pump.
right? In between doing chores, I'm like, you know what? I've been standing here too long. I've been thinking about
Yeah,
doing something
gotta
too long.
move, get active.
I scroll through, all the socials a little too long. So I'm like, you know what? You owe me 50. You owe me myself. You owe myself.
Exactly.
You playing around too much. You owe me 50. Give me 50. Get back to work.
I see. That's another thing, man. I'm glad you brought that up because you see a lot of people in the gym nowadays. They'll hit their set and then they scrolling on Facebook for 15, 20, 30 minutes, and it's like, yo, you no, like put the phone down, put your commitment right here for the next 45 minutes. Challenge your body, push your body to its limits. Get off the phone. I mean, if you're playing music, bump your music, get your playlist going. You should have that ready before you get in there, my honest opinion. But put the phone away, man. Get off the socials. Put that time in on challenging your body to get better for those 45 minutes instead of just hit 10 reps. Now let me scroll through Facebook and like this. And next thing you know, you've been standing there 30 minutes.
Well, I can
And
only
it's like,
hope.
man, come on.
Well, I can only hope that that's a young boys game or a young person game,
I hope so, dude.
because if you're doing that in your older years, you're losing out.
You are.
In your younger years, you're losing out too, man. If you can do 10 easily or whatever you're doing, you might as well stack on 25 more percent and see what you can do.
Yep.
You know what I mean? At least 25%. See
Oh,
what you can.
definitely.
You know what I mean? Even if that was your last set at like 4 sets and you're like, man, that felt good. And you did, let's just say 225, 3 sets of 8. You know what I mean? You might as well add 25 more percent to it
Yeah.
and just see what you got. If
Yep.
those
Challenge
8,
yourself, man. Only way you get better.
you know what I mean? If those 8 were nothing, you're not that. Well, firm believer that pressure makes diamonds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but pressure can also make a mess. So at some point, you have to understand where your self is under so much pressure where you have to relieve it, or is it
Mm-hmm.
enough pressure for the change? Because where everybody else doesn't want, they want the change. You know what I mean? I think we were talking about this the other day. You know what I mean? They want the change. They want to go for it. They want to talk about it. They want to
Yeah.
be about it. But they're not willing to sacrifice anything to go do it. You know what I mean? Like me and you,
Yeah.
we sacrificed a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of cash, to try to do this. You know what I mean? Because it not only is it a dream of ours, but it's just something we love to do.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So why not do it?
Mm.
Why not take that step?
I agree, man. And something people can take away from what you just said, with commitment comes sacrifice. You
All
know,
the time.
like for me, man, having a wife and 3 kids, I got to be in the gym by 5. So I got to be up by 4, out the door by 4:15 or 4:30 to be in the gym to get my workout in. And so you're going to sacrifice sleeping in Monday through Friday. And then, that just, and honestly, people think it's a bad thing, but dude, to me, the sacrificing that sleeping, I still get my rest when I need it, but I've gotten myself into that routine of, all right, I'm up early, I'm ready to rock and roll, I'm ready to get things done. And it just keeps carrying over. Like even on the weekends, I don't want to sleep in no more. My body's gotten used to that internal alarm clock. Hey, it's 4 o'clock, 4:15, gotta get up, gotta go. And I love it, dude. Like it's a lot of sacrifice. It sucks. Like midway through the day, if you ain't got some food in there to try to get a little bit of energy, you start dragging a little bit. If you come home, if you sit down and stop moving, the tiredness will kick in. But it's just one of them things. It's like, all right, well, I got to stay moving. If I nap now for an hour and a half, I'm gonna be up all night, and it's gonna mess me up.
Right.
So get comfortable being uncomfortable, everybody, and you got to be willing to sacrifice. And that's not just with fitness. That's with anything in your life, man. Anything you're going to do, it's going to come with sacrifice, and you
I
got to be willing to take that sacrifice.
I couldn't put it better. You know what I mean? Anything you're gonna do, it's gonna come. Anything that's worth you doing. You know what I mean? Anything that's worth you doing is gonna come with a sacrifice to you.
Oh, definitely,
You know what
dude.
I mean? If it's not really worth you doing, maybe it might not come with a sacrifice. It still might be a good time, but in the back of your head, it's really not even worth your time doing it.
Yep.
So, in reality, you're not using your time correctly. And time, we talked about this. Time is the only real currency
Yes.
is reliable. That's really tangible in friendships, relationships, family, all this.
Mhm.
Time is one of the most valuable things you can give somebody.
Oh, I agree 100%, bro. And it's, I
So,
mean, it goes in hand to hand with a lot of stuff, commitment, time, everything. Like I was hearing I saw a video, a lady was talking about, we spend a lot of time worrying about our house and our car. She's like, and all these things that when your time on this earth is done, somebody else is just going to move in and make memories in. Somebody else is going to get your truck and drive it around. She's like, so why are you stressing so much on these things that in the end is going to make somebody else more memories? And I really got to thinking about it, man, because it's like it's really not as important. We're really not as important as we try to make it out. Like we stress over our house and our car and all this other stuff, and it takes away from time with our families, you know,
well,
commitment to other things. And then when you sit back and look at it, it's like, why am I really stressing this, man? Like,
relationships can be a big stressor too, man.
mm-hmm.
They can take a lot of pressure away from that, which will, blow a lot of time where you don't need it. Not
Yeah.
saying that the relationship doesn't need it, but you yourself as a man you have obligations, you have responsibilities, you have stuff you have to get done.
Oh
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
definitely, dude. Like, I have a commitment to my wife, my kids, everything I do, man. Like, and having being a family man now with a wife and kids, I'm understanding what that commitment means now. Like, I understand that I'm committed to my wife, so that may mean, making sure I don't get caught up in that complacency, like we talked about last time, of not ever texting her "I love you," or not just thinking of her. It's a commitment. Like I'm committed to her, like I am the kids, so I have to really balance everything. I got to be there for the kids. I got to be there for the wife. Got to do this. It's a lot for a man or a family man, but for the ones who are committed to it, committed to the family, their wives, they know what I'm talking about. You love every minute of it.
Right.
It
Well,
may look hectic and chaos at sometimes, but it's just one of the things you just step back and like, I got this, baby. This is what I live for right here.
I'm sure it takes the right partner too. You know what I mean? Because if otherwise, if you're committed to the wrong partner and they're not in it for you, you know what I mean? You like, I'm sure your wife can come there and like recharge her batteries per se. You know what I mean? Have a rough day, whatever, and she can keep going day through the
Mm,
day because you sit there and recharge her. But I'm sure the way you're explaining it, you know what I mean, is she's also recharging you.
yeah. Oh,
You know what I
definitely,
mean?
dude.
Where you know what I mean, where if somebody's not helping recharge you, or you're not getting the reciprocation back, or something like that, you should really probably take a reevaluation in the relationship.
Oh, definitely, dude. If whoever you're in a relationship with, man, whether you're married, significant other, whatever, engaged, dating, if that person don't have your back 24/7 and push you and believe in your dreams, that hey, you're going to get there if you put in the hard work, then yeah, you really need to readjust that, man. If that person, like I said before, don't want to be at the lowest of the low and down in the trenches with you and still lift you up to be like, hey, it's getting hard, but you know what? Let's hunker down and do this. This is your dream. Let's go for it. When you got a spouse or significant other like that, man, it makes the biggest mountains seem like the smallest hills. Knowing that you got that support, that, hey, well, this is getting hard, but when you know you got that support behind you, nothing in front of you is going to stop you.
But it's on the opposite side when you're committed to somebody and they're not down on the same train.
Yep.
It kind of causes your train to become derailed,
Yep.
and then
Spiral out of control.
but that's where instead of commitment to the relationship, the commitment to self
Yep.
comes in,
Yep.
because you can't help anybody if you're drowning yourself.
Nope. You
You know what I
can't,
mean?
man.
So the best way to help anybody in any situation is to make sure you're afloat and you're afloat. You know what I mean? As a husband, as a man, as anybody just trying to stand on their own 2 feet. The best way to any time help somebody is
Oh
stand on
yeah,
your,
definitely, man.
because if you're trying to help somebody and you're not even able to float, you know what I mean, you're gonna help them, and then they might think that you're okay and you're okay, but then you're both are gonna go down because
I agree.
you know what I mean, neither one's stable. Nobody's, you know what I mean, nobody's really, it's like taking accountability. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If you can't take accountability for your own actions, then
Which hey, that's probably gonna cut deep on some people, man, because we live in a time now don't nobody take responsibility for their own actions anymore. They act like you could just do whatever and it's all gonna be okay. It's like nah, don't work like that.
well, I mean, I don't know if you can relate, but you know, I've been a very angry person before. I've been
Oh
a
yeah.
very jealous person before. I've been a very petty person before. I've been, you know, a very rude and mean person in relationships, because that feeling of love that we talked about, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because action is love. In my book, action is love. Love is action. You don't really feel love. I mean, you might feel those butterflies, but those butterflies aren't really love. You know what I mean? Love comes from selfless actions to each other, to bettering each other's self.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Accepting that person for who they are, what they bring to the table.
And trying to come together and move forward in life.
Yep. Instead of making them try to be something they're not. And you get a lot of that nowadays, man. I think a lot of, people really push that they want to change this person, or you should act like this because you do this now, or you make this money now, so you should be like this. And it's like, no, just because your career changes or the money you bring home changes, that shouldn't change you. Like, stay true to who you are, man. Like, don't switch up and change because, oh yeah, I'm pulling this 6 figures now, bro. So I need to go get that Lamborghini. I need that mansion. Nah, like you don't need those. You don't need the material things, man. Stay true to who you are, because being true to who you are is what got you to where you are in the first place.
Right?
Once you've hit that top of the mountain, it wasn't because you drove a Lambo. It wasn't because you had the mansion. It wasn't because you had this or the in-ground pool with the waterfall. It was being who you are, staying true to who you are, and showing that to everybody. Never switching up, never changing up. And that's hard for a lot of people nowadays, dude. You see a lot of people, once they get some money, they real quick, I gotta go get this, I gotta go get that. And it's like, dude, no, like just be you. Like,
Be you. Be authentic to yourself.
exactly, man.
You know what I
Like,
mean?
quit trying to put on this front.
Sometimes that changes. You know what I mean? Sometimes that changes per person and per what you're going through.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean? Like if you're going through a marriage, you gotta be authentic to yourself. If you really want, you know what I mean? If yourself really wants to be with that person really wants to be with you, then you know what I mean, that'll work through. If you're authentic with yourself and you know you're going through stuff and you know what I mean, it's not really working, you got to kind of pull back towards yourself, because otherwise you're gonna end up losing yourself, and then it's
Yeah.
gonna take. You're either gonna get lost in that whole abyss of like how people talk about like the narcissistic abuse, or you know being being treated wrong or talked to a certain way. You know, I mean anything along those lines. You know, I mean in relationships or like even with past family. You know, I mean it's
Yeah.
you know, I mean well, the Lion King. Lion King, right? He hit him with the stick. He was like, "Oh, why'd you do that?" He's like, "Why does it matter? It's in the past. You're either gonna move forward from it or be scared of it." And then he swings it again. He's like, "You learned."
Yeah.
So you know, what I mean, even as kids, they were trying to teach us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's true, man. And a lot of stuff goes with, since this episode's about commitment, y'all want people getting the wrong message. Sometimes, in a relationship, dude, or whatever, you go in committed to your job, your career, whatever, your wife, and sometimes it don't work, man. But my thing is like, being in that commitment, you stay committed to that person to where you know that you gave it your all, you put everything on the table with this life you try to create with a spouse, and if it don't work, then it don't work. So you said there's no need to stay in it if you know, hey, we've given this our all, we've tried to be committed to one another, it's not working. Sometimes it's better to go separate ways than do more damage than you are good. And I'm not saying nothing bad about it. I'm just saying sometimes, yes, you when we talk about commitment, you want to be fully committed into what you're doing. That doesn't mean it's always going to work every time. Sometimes, like you said, you got to take a step back and really reevaluate. Like, all right, well, I went all in on this and it's not going like I thought it was. That doesn't mean quit and give up. Maybe find another way. But when it comes to your relationships and whatnot, if you both went all in and you're just not going nowhere, and especially if you got kids involved, man, sometimes it's better to, realize, all right, well, we're trying, you've tried, we're not getting nowhere. Then maybe it's best to separate just for, what's best for the kids, because you don't want them to be stuck in something and forcing it and thinking, all right, well, yeah, I'm forcing this love for her. She's forcing that love. You're not getting nowhere. You're not. You're going to hate each other. You're going to bash each other. You're going to argue. Like, take a step back sometimes and just really reevaluate. Like, go all in for it, yeah. But if you see it's not working, common sense just step in and be like, okay, dude, well, y'all are trying. You're not getting nowhere. Maybe it is time to go this way. Same thing with your careers or whatever. Like even with fitness, I'm stuck to this diet. I'm committed to this diet, but it's just not working. Well, maybe it's time to take a step back and be like, all right, well, what can we reevaluate? What can we change to get it to work, to make it better? It goes hand in hand, man, with fitness, financial, you know, your relationships. It all goes hand in hand. It's commitment, but sometimes you got to take a step back to see, is this going to work? What do we need to change up to make it work?
Well, that's, you know what I mean? It's commitment. It's being really committed to whatever you're being committed to, and not just bouncing out at the first incident. You're trying to pick on everything you can try to do to solve it. Relationships. You get the apps. You try to go to counselors. You try to do, what I mean, like extra things. I try to get dance classes together. You know what I mean? If all else fails, and still, it's like you just gotta kind of step away.
Yep. And it may hurt like heck. We ain't saying that those they gonna that whatever you got to step away from. We ain't saying it's not gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Whether it's relationships, finances, whatever. We've all been through there. Sometimes you have that relationship that you really hoping is going to work, and you're really all in for that person, and in return they're not all in for you. That's hurt. That's hurt that takes a while to heal from, and it does a lot of damage that other person don't see. But that's where you got to understand. Take some time for yourself to step back, and then don't be scared to try to get back out there and find you somebody else that you can be committed to. Like, yeah, this one sucked and this one hurt, and you got to take your time, but you can't let that bad experience, just halt your love that you could have for somebody else. Because there's somebody else out there. There's that person out there that's going to love you, be committed to you. And for the ones I've told you before, for the ones that you think is it and is not it, that was just a stepping stone to help get you to where you're supposed to be.
Yeah. I mean, that's where the commitment to self comes in.
Yep.
And you have to be committed to like just being better for yourself at that point. If you gave it all you got and it ain't working, then you gotta better yourself at that point. It doesn't matter if it was your fault or the other person's fault or anything at that point. As adults, I'm sure you can relate. In any real relationship, you can fix it pretty much anything with compromise and commitment to each other.
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
So,
and my honest opinion on it, dude, like marriage life is hard. Like a lot of people think that it's easy no, marriage is hard. Especially when you get down to the nitty gritty and things is really getting tight, it can get rough at times. And then that's in the moments, man, where you really got to be locked in on what you got, because there's so many other people out there that's going to try to tempt you. It's going to try to make you do this or do that. Like you may have some boys or women may have some women friends that's in their life that think they're really cool, but behind your back could be trying to get, you to do something stupid because they want what you got in your spouse. They want your spouse. Because, yeah, the times is hard, but they see how he treats you, how he gives you the flowers and texts you he loves you. They want that. So you got to really when things get nitty gritty, man, you got to be on the lookout for all that, because sometimes people will be put in your life that you think is tight, got you back, when really they just want what you got. And you really got to watch out for that, man.
Well, that's why I don't encourage opposite. I mean, it's like if you work in an office, it's okay to be cordial, with the opposite sex. But to me, I mean, I work blue collar, so it's like I'm polite, and that's it.
That same here, bro. Working
Yes,
in
ma'am.
construction.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, we working in construction. We have truck drivers that are females. Oh, hey, yo, can I get a sample off of you? We got to check a tent. That's it. It's professional, and you don't push it past that. You live in a world nowadays, dude, where people encourage you to push past that. Like, and that's why I say you really got to watch the people around you that you put in your circle, dude, because people can be toxic and people can be backstabbing and dangerous. And if you got the wrong people in your circle, you'll find out real quick. And sometimes you got to find out the hard way. So just really pay attention out there, man. Because, I mean, like I said, with me and you, knowing you, I know you come down to my house, man. I ain't got no problem you being in my house. I know there ain't nothing there. But yeah, I'll be home in a little bit, man. I'm working. I know you good. I got some friends that ain't coming in my house without me home, because I already know. Like, just growing up with them, but you see the way they look at your wife, and you're like, hey, man, what you looking at my wife like for? Like, y'all got some people, man, that I'm like, nah, you ain't. I'll call you when I get home. Like, you ain't going near my wife or my kids. Just because deep down they want what you got. So, I don't even give them people the time of day. That's why I said, watch who you put in your circle. Don't put them people in your circle, everybody. You put them people in your circle, they're going to bring chaos, toxic issues, problems, all kinds of stuff. Finally, you come across somebody, and it could be a real tight friend that you've had for years that you think has got your back. And they come to find out they doing you dirty. So, you know what I'm saying?
Commitment to bettering yourself. So that's, commitment to bettering your circle.
Yep.
I think we kind of touched on a bunch of stuff this time.
Definitely,
all
dude.
Around commitment. What you think?
Oh, definitely. Definitely, I'd say we hit on a good bit, dude. And it's like I said, everybody in your circle, guys, like with me and CJ, I know for a fact he's going to tell me what I need to hear. He's that type of friend that's in my circle that he knows the dreams, the goals that we both got for this podcast. So we're going to lift each other up. We're going to be straight up with each other. He's not going to tell me what I want to hear just to make me feel good. You may come across something that you don't want to hear, but you need to hear it because he's that friend that's got your back and he wants you to get to your goals just as bad as you do. That's the people you want in your circle. The people that's going to hold you accountable, hold you to that commitment, hold you to your goals, help you succeed to those goals and accomplish those goals. And I ain't trying to ramble or nothing, but that's why we did this podcast, man, because I know for a fact, without a doubt, I could come to him, tell him something, vision I got or a goal I got, and he's going to be straight up with me, let me know, yeah, I think you could do it, or, bro, it's going to take some time, but you'll eventually get there. Like, he's not scared to tell me straight up how it is. And that's people you want in your life, in your circle. Don't push those people away.
I appreciate that little last touch, brother. Appreciate that.
No problem at all, bro. It's all truth. All truth.
I think we're going to leave on the like, subscribe, 5 stars, comment, concerns, leave them.
Yeah, hit that notification button, baby. To the Dirty 30 guys. Trying to be the best podcasters there is out there. Trying to bring you great content. Hit us up in the comments, questions, everything, guys. Just trying to, speak on things we've been through and hopefully help somebody else or help somebody relate just going through the same stuff. Whatever battle struggles, hit us up, guys. Get us out there.
Awesome.